Welcome back. We've been doing some investigating, and I feel like we're coming up to another section of rounds. Obviously starting here. Very much so because the time of day has changed, and that fits with our rules. So, I'm glad Granny is doing alright. She even gets to leave the hospital soon. As soon as she can leave, I'll get Papa and Mama and we'll come take her home. Do your parents know you're here, though? That's my question. I'm glad Granny is doing alright. She gets to leave the hospital soon. I always get caught on this bit here. Someone's like, hey, trying to get through. Oh, is it time already? Think I'll stop by the reference room for a bit of last-minute studying before the lecture. It's like, can you update with new dialogue, please? On the second time. I make meals for all the patients, too, but it doesn't always go well. For example, yesterday, Mr. Gaval spouted some nonsense in that private room of his. Give me a steak, medium rare. So I accidentally blurted out that he should go to an actual restaurant if he wants something like that. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Again, can you update with a second bit of dialogue, please? That egg has been out all day. I've seen it, I kept an eye on it. It's been there all day. Alright, so the question is she still asleep? I could have sworn that Chief Ursuline would be late today, but lo and behold, she somehow made it to work on time. Immersing herself in her research until dawn. No wonder she never makes it to the meetings on time. Oh, there we go then. Installing that fence was a pretty smart idea, wasn't it? I guess I'll do my part and be on the lookout for monsters too. I finished cleaning up the dormitory, like I do every day, but after finding a speck of dirt, I just had to do another round. Oh, I know the whole doing rounds again. It's the woman's dormitory, isn't it? It has to be super clean for everyone. This is the prettiest sunset I've ever seen. Nice and refreshing. Achoo. No, I got snot on the sheets. Quick, Chiron, what do you do? If Maeva finds out, she's going to lose her mind. I'd lose my mind. Consider what world we live in right now. No, you need to clean that again. I wonder if Mr. Dyson would wash them for me in secret if I asked nicely. Let's see here. I have some time before anything important, so I could go fishing, though I'd rather not get caught by Professor Rigaud again. It's always the first floor where he stops me. Cruel universe. Fine, I'll give up for today and hole up in my lab. This professor has a few screws loose. I mean, based on his name, yeah. Fishing is a real blessing. I always turn to it when I'm looking for a change of pace. It's quite a change of pace. Had time away from this limbo. I'd love to scour Crossbell for the best fishing holes. I think it's time I got my theory out here. I've mentioned it on Discord a little bit, but need to get it out in a video. So, Joachim here, and that's how I'm choosing to pronounce his name, otherwise I'll probably get a bit too phlegmy, and I don't think we want that, so I'll spare us that little annoyance, is the best way I'd put it. So, Joachim, it's very much his name means one who's raised up by God, which that could have many different interpretations and many different implications within the context of this story. Then if you actually look at Joachim from the Bible, that's the father of Mary, the Virgin Mary. So he's the grandfather of Jesus, which again could have some significance within this story. There was also stuff involving sacrifices with him as well. I'm not going into the entire backstory of that because this is just meant to be little quick things, so go look that up yourself if you want to know more about that. But I feel that's going to be relevant somehow, based on the fact that Tio did mention at the start of the game something involving sacrifices. It does seem very significant, and then you combine it with all other different elements, like he's here working at a high-tech hospital, and then you have the aspects from the third where Kevin was talking about this cult that he was trying to sort out. He had to kill a kid, unfortunately, who'd been turned into a flesh-eating demon by a cult. These things, I think, are tying all together, and it's just his name has just made it so significant to me. It's just, it doesn't feel like it's a mistake. Because you know how I am with Falcom these days. I pay attention to the little details very, 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 very closely. And I don't feel like this one is a mistake. But the question is, if this is related to Joachim from the Bible, then who is Jesus in this story? There's only one candidate in my head. And it should be obvious. But I'll leave that to you, and we'll get back to the rounds. After I lost my eyesight, my ears adapted and became very sensitive. Now once I hear something, I can always recognize it. However, I still don't know exactly what that weird whistling from before was. I'm sorry that I can't give you any useful information, everyone. No, Shizuku, we may not know how relevant the sound may be, but the more information we have, the higher our chances of success are. Yeah, no one else mentioned this noise, so perfect. Also, we were able to find some new clues too, thanks to your sharp ears. Personally, I think this whistling will end up being crucial to our investigation. Really? And I'm glad to hear that. Please continue to do your best, everyone. I hope the sound I heard will be useful to you. I'm sure it will. Linen room. Employees only. So the buffoon's running this place, put a fence up to keep the monsters out, eh? I'm glad they finally got it through their thick skulls. I'm to be protected at all costs. Got nothing to do with you, what? Shizuku talks to me all the time about all sorts of stuff. Sometimes I wonder what it's like to not be able to see. Must be really sad. You know, I'm very worried about this hospital. There's loads of Calvard spies everywhere. I'm heading to room 202 now. There's a few more patients I have to check on. You aren't impatient, right? If so, I recommend you catch the bus before it gets too late. 97.8 degrees. Everything looks normal. And next we have Leighton, I think. Well, I had to go do a check there because I wanted to see what the temperatures were like in the other games in the series. And I can't find anything. I'm just wondering, because it seems odd to have like an imperial measurement of some sort, like the Fahrenheit measurement, alongside like Celsius, etc., which are metric. Usually you have the metric with Celsius, so it just seems a bit strange to me. It's not out of place or anything like that. It's entirely possible I live in a country that uses metric and imperial randomly. Yeah, like if I measured my height, I'd use imperial. If I measured my desk, I'd use metric. I know both systems. It's weird. So it's entirely possible. It's just curiosity, really. Yep, still the same. Hospitals are boring. Alright. That reminds me, Professor Gunther said, with luck I can be discharged tomorrow. I can't say I'm excited for it though. Just thinking about all the paperwork that's piled up while I've been MIA makes my head spin. Only got 3 more days to rest. It would still pile up, it'd be worse. I think I'd be happy to get back to work, but nope. I'm utterly depressed. Oh dear. Evening already? You sleep all day. You aren't going to see too much sun. She's late again. Shiron, how is it humanly possible to take this long to hang up some wet bed sheets? Oh, don't tell me, did she get them dirty again? Get the sheets shining so much, I could do my makeup in the reflection. That's... I think you chromed them. You didn't wash them, you chromed them. Shiron, I swear, if you messed up those bed sheets... Oh dear. Well, well, well. The Tio I knew from years back looked nothing like the one I see now. That's a compliment, if I must add. Are you heading back already? Please stop by and say hello when you find the time. Lloyd? Did you forget something? No, nothing like that, Cecile. Oh, does that mean it's finally time for you to give me your report? So tell me, out of Elie, Tio and Randy, who did you decide to date? You know full well that's not what I was talking about. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Lloyd, if something happens here again... No, actually, even if something doesn't happen again, stop by to see me, okay? Well, if you'll excuse me, I have to bring Shizuku her dinner. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Oh, you too. My adorable granddaughter came to visit me, but I sent her home before it got dark. But thanks to her, I feel like a new woman. It's time to perk up and work towards getting discharged. I banged up my knee. Considering how much I've improved today, the doctor said I might be able to leave soon. I'll see the guy outside, okay. I can't wait to go home. That old lady's had a smile plastered on her face for a while now. Well, if she's able to stay positive while staying here, there's no reason I can't too. Outpatient care has ended for the day. The roads get dangerous at night, so try and be quick if you're visiting someone, okay? Officers, thank you for assisting us in setting up the fence. You were a great help. Hopefully, this marks the end of monsters on St. Ursula grounds. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's the end. I've heard that Professor Gary's son hangs out with an unsavory crowd. I really don't understand why, since he has such an amazing father. Gary. Gary! Professor, please calm down. Oh dear. Look, I want to speak to the bald guy. Oh, if it isn't the distinguishing mustache himself. What do you want? Out with it. Hello, Ergo. I must say that bald head of yours is positively shining today. It nearly blinded me, I'm afraid. It's a shame it didn't. So terrible for our interns. Learning from a man who only cares about mutilating our patients. At least I'm teaching them content. What exactly are you teaching again? Long dead techniques from the church? I find it hard to believe someone who uses that hogwash can be called a professor. Hogwash? Say that again, I dare you. I'll say it as many times as it takes. Well, yeah. Ooh. I love those two. It's not spent much time with them, but I love them. I love them so much. Like this, what is in here? ICU intensive care unit, authorized personnel only. Persons entering, please follow the level 2 or higher sterilization protocol. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. Ah, of course. If we were to use the quartz in this and put it in there, she doesn't even realize we're here. Her concentration is impressive. Also, pointing out the keyboard, someone did point out to me that the keyboard in the opening for this game does have a few missing letters, and like Q is a O. And then it occurred to me when they told me on Discord. I apologize, I can't remember who said it, so please say down in the comments if it was you who said it on Discord. So I want to credit you, essentially. But yeah, I did point that out with Milliam when she was at the keyboard at Thor's Academy at one point, saying like the keyboard's weird because it's not QWERTY, it's OWERTY. Yeah, it's like missing letters here and there, and it's like, okay, so that's a thing that actually exists in this world if it's in the opening. It's intriguing. And yes, if you're wondering, I'm essentially using rounds as a place to get my sort of talking points out, my theories out. It seems the best place. I'm hoping Geofront essentially becomes the old schoolhouse. There's one thing I will credit Cold Steel for. Definitely credit it for that. It had a nice pattern to it that allowed me to do theory parts. The way the sunset reflects off of Lake Elm is gorgeous. I'm telling you, that sight is strong enough to make any stress disappear. Well, enough of that. It's time for me to start preparing for tonight's watch. Heading back already? If you're returning to Crossbell City, I'd recommend you wait at the bus stop right over there. No need to hurry though. There will be more buses coming before the day ends. If you're aiming for Crossbell City, I recommend you wait at the bus stop right over there. Anyway, how about this sunset? I know, beautiful, isn't it? Wait for the bus. So, should we wait for the bus? According to the schedule, one's supposed to come in 15 minutes. Dang, that's convenient. Assuming it actually arrives. We've not had much luck with the buses. And it runs all the way up to 11 PM. The fare is really cheap too. The city manages it, correct? Does that mean they do not make a profit from it? You have to remember that the hospital is important to everyone in Crossbell State. Given the high demand and room in the state's budget, they must have enough mirror to fund the service. Yeah, it sort of makes sense, in a way, because it is integral, it is a part of it. That makes sense. It's sort of like a hospital hopper. We have them here in the UK. Being able to visit the hospital as easily as you can is definitely something to be thankful for. Nice to see people I recognize in the queue. We got on a bus. At long last, we finally got on a bus. Who knew this day would come? Burp, burp. Why are you always pipping? Tooting? Why? I'm scared something's going to happen to this bus. That was a nice turn. Well, went through the ground, but... See, I missed her completely. Can't believe I missed her. Do I get to do the rounds on the bus? That'd be cool. Triple dot, I'm shaking. What a beautiful sunset. Yes. Though I wouldn't advise looking right at it. Phew, mobile vehicles make life a breeze, don't they? Man, imagine if we got our hands on our own car. Yeah, I wouldn't count on that. I think the other investigative divisions use them, though. If I recall correctly, I believe that each 1st Division detective has a private car prepared for them. Seriously? You wouldn't think there's a limit to special treatment? Jeez, it's times like this when it really sucks to be the misfits. Well, it's no use begging for stuff we can't get. Besides, traveling on the highway is pretty good training, don't you think? I'm hesitant to agree, but I think I have to. But we won't be investigating any further today, correct? Yeah, all that's left is Mainz. Like I said, let's head back for now and write up our reports. Tomorrow we'll pick up where we left off. Roger. I think today was more exhausting than we were expecting. You got that right. But man, Cecile really saved our skins, eh? Alright, next time I'll use a mixer as an excuse to score big time. Your persistence is admirable, Randy. No, I want to do mini rounds on the bus. I mean, NPCs, I don't want to speak to them, and such. Whatever I said in Cold Steel, I don't remember. Seriously, what is Repeat doing here? You're in the wrong game, mate. Which came out first, this or Vesperia? Someone let me know. Lloyd and the others returned to the SSS that night and began compiling a report of the day's investigation. The newly found evidence, uncertainties, and theories were all discussed and organized for Sergei's convenience. I think that's what I like about this game. This game is built around the idea of theories and detectives and looking into details. It's like, it's right up my alley. It's clearly for me. And before they knew it, the clock had struck midnight. Once finished, they returned to their respective rooms, exhausted, and fell asleep. Had I returned by foot, would I have been able to get the Crossbell and done the rounds? Or would it have been, no, you have to get on the bus? I imagine it would be, get on the bus. It's the name of the game, everyone. Wait a second. I'm going on a trip? You can't just say that and immediately walk out the door. I just did. Where are you even going? The Principality of Remiferia. Don't worry, I should be back in a month or two. Might even be as short as 2 weeks, depending on the situation. Yeah, I get it, but you're a CPD detective, aren't you? Is it really okay for you to be out of the state for that long? So here's my question, does he get killed in Remiferia? And if so, I'm going to keep an eye on anybody from Remiferia. That they are my sort of like key indicators, like what happened sort of thing. What's with the long face? You're going to be depressed if your big brother goes away for a bit. Come on, Lloyd. Get way too freaked out when you're all alone, like a dog, waiting for his master to come back. Why stop at 2 months? You can leave for 2 years for all I care. I'm perfectly fine on my own, thanks. Well, relax, I was just kidding. See, the truth is, I'm not going to Remeferia for fun and games. This is a top secret job, Lloyd. Sounds fishy to me. What? Yeah, it would do. I mean, top secret? What kind of secrets are we even talking about? I knew you were going to ask that. Well, I can't dive into specifics, but it's actually a trip where I'm in charge of escorting this cute little girl back home. That's it? The girl and I are escaping to Remeferia, a beautiful northern country. So tell me, just how jealous are you? Okay, no more joking around. Ask the neighbors to invite you over for dinner while I'm away. Breakfasts are on you, though. I'm not a kid, I can cook my own meals. Wait, that's beside the point. Cute little girl? Just what exactly are you planning, Guy? What are you going to do if Cecile finds out about all this? What does Cecile have to do with anything? What does she... you're impossible. What could she possibly see in this massive idiot? Okay then. For your information, I've already discussed this with her. Wait, seriously? Yeah, there seems to be a little misunderstanding here, Lloyd. Even though I call it a trip, it's still very much police work. And the girl's only 9 years old, you know. So if it is who I think it is... No aging. A dream? Talk about nostalgic. I must have been around 12 when that happened, or was it 13? And afterwards, I'm sure that... Lloyd speaking. Good. You're up. Have you finished that report already? You know, I'm very much paying attention to a certain map in front of Lloyd right now. It's almost like Earth. Almost. There's certain bits about it that actually do look familiar with Zemuria. Like, what would be Japan is huge. Australia is more towards South America. Africa and Europe are just combined into one. And there's like this massive island, India's larger than it should be as well. Like, it's very similar to a map of Earth, but not. So it's just that case of like, is that a proto-Zemuria? Or is it more Zemuria we haven't seen on the official map, etc.? Because you could fit what we know as Zemuria from that map on there quite easily. Just, I don't know. I don't know what they thought they were doing, what they were planning, that sort of thing. Yes, sir. Yesterday's investigation was wrapped up, more or less. Excellent. Now, round up everyone and come to my office. You have guests. Guests? Here? Excuse us, sir. Deputy Commander Barles. Man, how did I know? Good morning, you four. Morning, everyone. Please notice this time, Lloyd. It's nice to see you, Deputy Commander. Our guess as to who was visiting us ended up being spot on. She stopped by not too long ago. Apparently she wants to hear about how your investigation is going. Yeah, of course. But isn't this on a pretty short notice? We still haven't quite finished our investigation of Mainz yet. I apologize, everyone. It wasn't my intention to rush you, but the situation has changed a bit. Oh? What do you mean? Up until yesterday, the Guardian Force was conducting regular patrols and providing security to Mainz. However, this morning, it was decided that they were to issue a full withdrawal. Why? You're withdrawing the Guardsmen? Hasn't it only been 3 days since the last monster sighting? Correct. We had planned on providing security for at least another week, but the order came directly from the CGF commander. Claimed it was a waste of resources. He thinks protecting innocent civilians is a waste? Tch. Never liked that spineless kisses. You know him? Oh yeah. When I was serving at Bellegarde Gate, I saw him loads of times. Basically, he's top dog of the Guardian Force and buddy-buddy with some Imperial faction big shot. He's more of a fan of whining and dining instead of doing his actual job. So the rumors are true after all. Logically speaking, by telling the CGF to drop the case, that implies that there is still an issue there, right? Yes, precisely. If the attacks were limited to one location, it might have been handed off to the Guild. But unfortunately, the scale of the attacks is too vast. As Deputy Commander of the Crossbell Guardian Force, I cannot overlook this. The real problem is that we weren't able to neutralize the monster before our 3-week deadline. And despite the attacks happening all throughout Crossbell, the actual damages weren't all that serious. With that as a pretext, the commander gave the order to cease all operations related to the matter immediately. So that's how it happened. Oh, how rude of me. I still haven't introduced you yet, have I? This is Sergeant Major Seeker. She's young, but also extremely skilled in combat, and a gifted driver. She serves as my aide-de-camp. Never heard that phrase before, or probably have, but you know how it is with these things when you see it written down. I'm Noel Seeker. It's nice to officially meet all of you. It is Noel, right? It's not Noel or something like that, because it's spelled as Noel. So please do let me know if I'm saying that wrong. Did not pick it up from what she said, otherwise I wouldn't be asking, would I? Yeah, likewise. Hold on. You said your last name was Seeker, yet it was mentioned previously. By any chance, are you related to Fran, one of the CPD receptionists? I am. Fran's my little sister. I heard that you've been looking after her. Thanks. Actually, I think you may have things a little backwards there. Huh. So you're that Sergeant Major I heard so much about. Sergeant Major Seeker, the young guardsman who's become Tangerum's shining beacon of hope. I wouldn't go that far. Besides, I've heard all about you too, Randy. The Bellegarde forces have had a lot to say. It's nice to finally put a face to the stories. I'm flattered. What kind of stories are we talking about? Primarily ones involving escapades with women, I assume. You got me there. The guys are always jealous of my awesome skills with the ladies. I mean, I would be too. I'll politely ask you to leave things at that, Orlando. Now, you should be up to speed with the unpleasant situation. The only factor that might break this deadlock is your investigation. To be blunt, I'm grasping at straws here. I need to know what you found out. I don't know things were this urgent. Well, we're about to submit our report to the Chief anyway. Please allow us to give you a short briefing as we do. Triple dot. That's that then. Good job. Well, Sonia, what do you think of my rookie's abilities? They exceeded my expectations. The legend of the Divine Wolves and how the culprits appeared on the roof of St. Ursula Medical College. What do you make of all this, Seeker? Honestly, I'm not really sure. I guess a trained detective's observations really are different from ours. It's more than simply their observations, Noel. It's their entire way of thinking. I believe I've come to my decision. I'll entrust the rest of the mine's investigation to the Special Support Section. With you for heading the operation, perhaps new unexpected leads may come to light. Well, we intend to keep investigating no matter what. But you ain't trying to throw us under the bus for ignoring the CGF's commander's orders, are you? It's not within my jurisdiction to tell you whether or not to abandon this case. If, however, we are able to get a solid lead on the monsters, we could mobilize immediately. Surely you understand, yes? I hear you loud and clear, ma'am. You really are as capable as everyone makes you out to be. Just so you know, it seemed as if the monsters were able to comprehend our strategies and movements. I don't know if that implies intelligence or mole. Acting as a small team instead of a large unit is probably smarter. With luck, you'll even be able to uncover their weak spot. I hope, at least. Thanks for the heads up. If possible, I'd like to head over to the mining town ASAP. Yes, that would be for the best. If you uncover anything substantial, contact my office at Tangram Gate. Kiseki, would you mind saving that talk for another day? No complaints here. Don't go taking any bad bets, alright? You're one to talk. Seeker, we'll be off now. Yes, ma'am. She looks like she's been worked to the bone. Yes, it does. She apparently oversaw the entire withdrawal of her troops from Mainz earlier this morning. She sure did. Unfortunately, she's at the mercy of an incompetent, sleazeback boss. Not to mention, she can't neglect her vigil over the Republic border. Basically, it's her job to always draw the short end of the stick. That sounds awful. And by the way, are you friends with the Deputy Commander or something? You two did seem quite comfortable with each other. Perhaps too comfortable. Well, Deputy Commander Balls was the one who recommended me here in the first place. What kind of relationship are you hiding from us, boss? Calm down, she's just an old friend. More importantly, it's clear as day that yesterday wore you guys out. You gotta head to Mainz, but are you really planning to make that journey on foot again? Definitely not. That really only happened by chance. We intend to spare our feet from blistering by taking the bus today. Oh, then right. Here I thought you were following the Brace's example. How does that correlate? Care to elaborate? Sure, it's sort of a tradition of theirs. As junior Braces, they tend to tour the surrounding area on foot. That way they build up stamina, pile up loads of combat experience, and most importantly, get the lay of the land. 3 birds, 1 stone. That does seem pretty effective. Does guys seriously do that kind of stuff? Willingly? Perhaps Estelle and Joshua were doing a form of that when we met them yesterday. So they intend to tour the entire region of Crossbell on foot. My god, you'd never see me do that. Those two have got quite the personal history, believe me. I've even heard they led the effort in fixing that fiasco that happened in Liberl last year. The Liberl incident? That was when Orbital Power suddenly shut down all across the country. No kidding. If that's true, they must be pretty big deals within the guild. Here in Crossbell, they're no more than rookies just like you. All you can do is work hard and pray you can keep up with them. If you don't get results, you can bet your ass the guild will snatch this case out from under you. I'll get to the bottom of it, sir. We should head to Mainz once we're ready. If we leave through the north exit, the bus stop should be right ahead. Let's resupply and double check our gear while we have the chance. As a precaution, I advise we check the terminal before leaving. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Alright, let's end this part here, and the next part we'll do the rounds. Ta-ta for now.